Welcome to this new and detailed class where we will be enabling and explaining video call functionality. Basically, we are going to look for the add-on called Click to Video on the Omniliads website. This add-on allows us to embed a widget, a WebRTC plugin, into a WordPress landing page to equip that web page with a WebRTC client capable of sending communications to OmniLeads. The primary idea is to link a visit to a specific web page with an agent responsible for handling calls within the OmniLeads system. This connection can be established through a video call or a WebRTC call, ensuring seamless and efficient communication. So what I'm going to do next is download a file, specifically a tar.gs archive, which is a compressed file format commonly used in Unix and Linux systems. This file will contain various resources, and I will simply use it to work with a web font that is embedded in a demo mode. The web font will be utilized to demonstrate how it can be integrated into a web project, showcasing its features and capabilities in a practical, hands-on manner. So for now, I'm going to look for my file on my computer. Here it is. I have found it. Now, I'm going to open this file to start working with the folder named Demo. This folder contains several important items, including a web font and a demo WebRTC phone. The demo WebRTC phone is particularly useful to consider when you are thinking about embedding it into a web page. Additionally, at the same time, I will be looking at the documentation that provides detailed instructions on how to enable this feature. This documentation is crucial as it guides you through the necessary steps and considerations to successfully implement the WebRTC phone into your project. So on one hand, at the Omnilet level, what I need to do is, as it clearly says here, go to the Omniliads location, admin, you can see that I am here, admin, then here where it says constants, enable this, if web from client enable. This is to enable the add-on. And here, since this add-on involves the use of Jitsi, we use the Jitsi server for the video part, not for the audio part. We will understand this a bit later on. The video is transacted, the video and screen sharing. For that we use Jitsi, but the audio is still handled by Asterisk for the purpose of having the recording, each and every call, each and every video call that OmniLeads transacts will have an audio recording. So here what we do need is a Jitsi server to use. So here we put the Jitsi server. To install a Jitsi server, you can simply use a Jitsi server in the cloud. There are several guides available to perform an installation, for example on Ubuntu 22.04. In my specific case, I already have a Jitsi set up here. The condition that this add-on has is to have a Jitsi server enabled, and if possible with secure certificates. Or rather, if this is going to production, it has to go with secure certificates. Why? Because, well, these approaching campaigns, if these incoming campaigns can have this video activation checkmark, it will make it so that when a call reaches an agent, that agent will render, let's say, open a video screen. And that video is actually being pulled by this external Jitsi server. So what I need to do here is create a new user in our system. I will navigate to the user management section and select the option to add a new user. This user will be named Click to Video to indicate its role. After that, I will ensure it is set up as a web font client to have the necessary permissions. The role, the specific position and set of responsibilities, that's the role I'm going to assign to this new user who is joining our team. Do I have to click to access the video user with a password, or possibly? I have already set up my OmniLead server as per the documentation, ensuring it is configured to work with Jitsi. All necessary settings have been applied for optimal performance. So now, what I need to do is begin working with my web phone. This means I will start by setting it up and making sure all necessary settings are configured properly. In that regard, what I mentioned earlier is that, well, we are definitely going to use it. I will move it here to the courses section. This demo exactly as it is. I will move it to the OML course for further use and reference in the future and ensure it is properly integrated. So here in this particular OML course, I have my demonstration folder with the web font files. Notice that the web phone is an application in Flask, which is a micro web framework written in Python and widely used for web development. We will see here that the web font demo is also an application in Flask, which requires both Flask and PyOpenSSL to be installed for it to function correctly. I just need to install these specific packages at the Python level, which include essential libraries and tools required for the application to function correctly. With this prior configuration, which ensures that all dependencies are correctly managed, I can launch my client, providing a seamless experience. We are going to change this by first putting localhost where it says omlurl. This is where we have our OmniLiads. Here we will click on video, and below we will enter the password that we have assigned to that user. And on the other hand, now I also need to upload here where Chameleo host goes. I will put Chameleo. Why? Because the host name is definitely in Docker. We are in Docker Compose. And remember that in Docker Compose, DNS is resolved directly with the service name. So since the service in our case is called Chameleo, I just directly put Chameleo there. If this were in production, localhost would go here. We will explain it later on in greater detail in any case. And here on the WebSocket server, it essentially actually uses localhost because it absolutely also goes here. You will see this thoroughly explained here, as it precisely says the domain, the FQDN or IP address to connect to the browser to OmniLiads. In our case, it is localhost. Just like here, this OML host is the URL of our Omnilit. It is definitely localhost. Now, this section states that this particular LAN IP address is the LAN IP of the OmniLiads instance. In our case, as you may already know, since we are using Docker Compose, it is indeed Chameleo. So, by simply adjusting these parameters of the web phone, we can modify its functionality. Now, I will navigate to my directory where my demo is located. In this directory, I will set up the environment and configure the Flask server. Due to the version I am using, I need to follow a specific method. I apologize for any inconvenience this might cause, but it is essential to follow these steps carefully to avoid issues. Thank you for your understanding and patience. I already have all the packages installed for this project. As you can see, I have Flask version 1, 1.2 installed, and I also have PyOpenCL version January 5th, 2021 installed. These packages are essential for the functionality of the application. So what I simply do is start the application using Flask, which is a micro web framework written in Python. And now, as it says, by entering port 5000 on my local host, which is the default port for Flask applications, I should be able to access it. I will do it from another browser to ensure that the application is running correctly. So here in this particular section of our demonstration, we are going to place an agent, specifically agent 2, which is directly associated with campaign 2. This campaign is the one that includes a video component. On this other side of the interface, I will access my web phone application. Once I have accessed the web phone, I will proceed to click on the option for a video call, initiating the video communication process. As you can see, the call is coming through. This video issue is related to the lack of certificates. I accept the certificate. If I had valid secure certificates, I wouldn't need to do this. Considering the importance of secure communication, each time I accept the certificate, this process must be repeated due to the absence of valid certificates. Valid certificates are... Now I'm going to do it like this. The next calls will come through, so I don't have to do this. And on the other side, it will probably be the same. Well, this is actually a drink that is featured on a website. As a good agent, it is important to thoroughly understand the product you are dealing with. On the other side of the call, the conversation ended, and we will only have the audio recording available for review. To elaborate further, the drink in question has been gaining popularity due to its unique blend of ingredients and the way it is marketed online. The website provides detailed information about the drink, including its nutritional content, customer reviews, and various ways it can be enjoyed. As an agent, it is crucial to be well versed with all these details to effectively communicate with potential customers. The call that ended was part of a routine check to ensure that all information provided on the website is accurate and up to date. The audio recording will serve as a reference to verify the details discussed during the call. This is the audio recording of the call that we have just now made and completely recorded. The next set of calls are starting to come in, so once again, we are going to perform another test to ensure everything is working correctly and efficiently. Louisa, where there was precisely the same exact webcam for both services indeed, right? But, the point is that both ends of the call. In London browser, it's different with a different webcam, one webcam for each browser. So it is done, tested a lot. Many really understand it, but it's good to show how it works. How does this video channeling work? This web phone actually dials numbers. Notice that down here we have a detailed display. Here it shows for each button which specific number it dials. Do you see how each button is clearly labeled with the corresponding number it will dial when pressed? Are these numbers being entered into the system as incoming routes for Omniliads, or are they fixed and unchanging? For example, the video call was handled by the route as it says here, 0117 766 0011. This is a specific route number that is used for handling video calls. If we go to this incoming route, it is the one created by default and sends to incoming campaign 2. where incoming campaign 2 has the video button enabled. This means that the video functionality is active and can be used. Let's suppose we create a new route. Let's do this WebRTC to see which numbers are configured. There's the 12, the one that ends in 12. This is another specific route number. We are going to use this number and now send it to campaign number 1, which is without video, a regular campaign without video. This means that the video functionality is not active in this campaign. The 12 goes to campaign 1. This is the final step in the process. So here I am going to log in the agent now, who is associated with the campaign as a support agent, and now I am going to make a call from here. I was just making a video call that dialed the number ending in 11. Now I am going to call this suggestion, which, as you can clearly see, will be triggered if and only if the web phone coding makes it so that when I press this button, it will send out this number directly over to Omniliads. Let's see if that number arrives in Omniliad. We saw that we sent it to the incoming campaign 1. And in the incoming campaign 1, the agent is logged in here. I'm going to try there. This is an audio-only call. Let's see, I think I sent it wrong, and here in the campaign I have my agent. An agent logged in for incoming calls by word. It's just a call. We could make it enter VR, deploy some kind of numpad to enter the option to go, but, well, what I wanted to show is that by embedding a little bit of web code into a page, we can have this functionality. Now, let's delve deeper into what this means. When we talk about sending a number to Omniliad, we are referring to a specific process where the number is transmitted through a series of steps. First, it is sent to the incoming campaign 1. This is a designated campaign that handles incoming numbers. Within this campaign, there is an agent who is logged in and ready to receive the number. This agent's role is crucial as they ensure the number is processed correctly. Now, when I say I'm going to try there, it means I am going to attempt to see if the number has arrived as expected. This is an audio-only call, meaning there is no visual component involved. It's purely based on voice communication. When I mentioned that I think I sent it wrong, it indicates a potential error in the process. However, in the campaign I have my agent, who is logged in specifically for incoming calls. This agent is responsible for handling these calls efficiently. It's just a call, but we have the capability to make it enter VR, which stands for virtual reality. By deploying a numpad, we can enter specific options to navigate through the system. The main point I wanted to demonstrate is that by embedding a small piece of web code into a page, we can achieve this functionality seamlessly. This integration allows us to enhance the user experience by providing additional features and capabilities. On one hand, we have here the documentation to do it on a raw landing page, embedding this code, but there is also a WordPress plugin available, which is in the same folder where we downloaded the add-on. The add-on was, yes here, WebPhoneAddon. Notice that inside we have this OML Web Phone Client zip. This is a WordPress plugin that can be installed. It can be installed in WordPress by uploading it, adding it as a file, and then there is also a fairly similar parameterization that involves setting the Kamailio host, involves setting this. One can also map the numbers with the options that will come out of the buttons, and at some point also configure the user, the key. It is all documented. Maybe in some video we can make an example of making it work in WordPress. The most direct and intuitive way to understand it is by using this client directly. Also for debugging it works very well, but in this way we present the video channeling.